Hello, this is OrcaDB with a new deck profile, Flamvells. This is my ultimate favorite deck, best deck ever, I don't care what you say. So let's start out with 3 Flamvell Firedog. Any Flamvell deck that you run has to have 3 of these guys. He summons a monster from your deck if he destroys an opponent's monster and sends it to the grave. 1900 attack, 4-star beat stick. This guy is just awesome. 2 Flamvell Magician, got ahead of myself, Archer. This guy can tribute a Pyro monster, which includes himself, and increase the attack of all Flamvells on the field by 800. More importantly, he's a level 3 tuner. I use him with Flamvell Baby to summon Red Nova Dragon. And there's the Flamvell Baby. He can be discarded from the hand to boost any fire attribute monster by 400 attack permanently. So that allows my Fire Dog to run over pretty much anything that doesn't require a tribute, which is awesome. Plus, he's a level 1 tuner, awesome for access to Formula Synchron and Red Nova Dragon. There's the Flamvell Magician. This guy is one of the main tuners for the deck. His effect is pretty useless. He gains attack points if there's an Ally of Justice monster on the field. But he's a level 4 tuner that slips under Bottomless Trap Hole. So this guy is just plain awesome. Gets me my Stardust and Red Dragon Archfiend. Flamvell Pwn is the Flamvell version of Sangan. If he's destroyed by battle, then I can search my deck for any monster with 200 defense. If I had Lila, Lightsworn Sorceress, or Celestia, Lightsworn Angel, both of them could be searched by this guy as well. He doesn't specify an attribute. And then Flamvell Grunica, just a level 4 non-tuner, 1700 attack, and he destroys a monster I burn for 200 times the level of the monster I destroyed. More used for synchro fodder than anything else. 3 Raikou Lightsworn Hunter. This is my main mill engine. Flamvells love to be in the graveyard, and so this guy gets them there. Plus I can pop an opponent's card and get that out of the way. Card Trooper, my other mill engine. I was so happy when this got semied instead of just being limited, which means I can run 2. I've gotten quite a few cards from my deck into the graveyard with these guys. Plus, when he's destroyed, I get to draw a card. Caius, the Shadow Monarch. Pretty useful against Gravekeepers, since I can just tribute something and remove one of their monsters, inflict 1000 burn damage, and I have a 2400 attack beat stick on the field now. It's especially useful after they've summoned Visionary. Dandelion, if I mill him, I get an extra couple of tokens for free, can sync them with Baby for Formula, and that gives me a little bit of extra defense. Effect Veiler. Ooh, shiny! I was so happy when I pulled this guy. I can ditch him from my hand during my opponent's main phase, negate one of their monster's effects, so Scrap Dragon and things like that. When someone summons a Brionic, I can chain this to Brionic's effect, and that means they just wasted a card, and I get to keep my cards on the field. Gores, pretty self-explanatory. If I need an extra bit of defense, I can special summon this guy when I get hit, and ta-da, 2700 free beat stick. Sync with Baby for a level 8 synchro. Morphing Jar. This one's more of a personal choice. I've had people both who love it and who hate it. I really like Morphing Jar because it can replenish my hand after I've drained it and can ditch a bunch of dead-in-hand Flamvells for a good rekindling play. Necrogardna, I love it when this guy's in the graveyard because it gives me an extra bit of protection. Just remove him from the graveyard and I can survive a little bit longer. Gold shiny. This is the OTK card. I activate this card to special summon as many fire monsters from my graveyard with 200 defense as possible, meaning I can swarm the field with synchros out of nowhere. It's a friggin' awesome card, and this is why Flamvells love to be in the graveyard. Book of Moon, pretty sad that this was limited, but it's still an awesome card, both defense and offense. I can book something and run it over with Fire Dog, or book something that's about to run me over. Charge of the Light Brigade. I've got 3 Rico, so this is a pretty useful card. It gives me a little bit of extra mill and heads one of my Rikos back to my hand. Enemy Controller. If I had Forbidden Lance, I'd replace this with it, but this is my little budget version. It's really useful to either steal an opponent's monster with one of my Dandy Fluff tokens or something, or I can use it to switch an attacking monster to defense mode, and a lot of monsters are more vulnerable that way. I can also switch a monster with high defense into attack mode so I can run it over easily. Giant Trunade. This is very good protection for when I'm about to start a rekindling push, because that means my opponent's traps will not be able to interfere with my play. Mind Control. Since Flamvells are very synchro-oriented, the fact that I can't tribute or attack with the monster I steal with this card means absolutely nothing, because I can just sync with it. Or I can get my opponent's monsters out of the way for a last-minute OTK push. Monster Reborn. Duh. Mystical Space Typhoon. Again, that's pretty duh. I need to have my opponent's back row out of the way to keep from messing me up. Shrink is another card I'll be replacing with Forbidden Lance if and when I can get them, but it's incredibly amusing to get a Fire Dog play off on my opponent's turn by cutting their monster's attack in half when they think they've got the advantage. 2 Bottomless Trap Hole, pretty self-explanatory. I absolutely love this card. It doesn't just destroy, it removes from play the offending monster, so I can get a lot of my opponent's cards out of the way. Compulsory Evacuation Device. This is awesome against Stardust and other synchros because it bounces them back into the extra deck, and then my opponent has to waste the resources getting them back onto the field. Dark Bribe, I'll replace that with a Solemn or something when I get it, but negate a spell or trap, your opponent draws a card. Pretty useful if I'm going for a last minute push and that card doesn't matter. Mirror Force, pretty self-explanatory. And the Transmigration Prophecy. This is my insurance policy. If I mill my rekindlings with my Rikos or my card troopers or something like that, then I can recover them with this, put it back into my deck, shuffle it up. Really, really useful card. And that's my Flamvell deck.